presentation. 3D model are models that have shape, volume, and space, so that this object can coordinate has coordinates x, y, and z. If in 2D animations, objects can only be moved in two directions, which is right, left, or x, and up, down, or y. Then it is different from 3D animation. In 3D animation, object can be moved in three directions, which is right and left, or x, up, down, and y, and front and back is z. In general, 3D objects have sub-objects in the form of elements that make up the object, which are vertex, edge, and face. A collection of vertex, edge, and face will become a whole object called a mesh. Okay, next, what is the characteristic of these 3D models? Wait. Nah, uh, 3D objects are composed of set of points that have coordinates on the x, y, and z axis, which from a plane or face, which is then combined into a single unit. There are several elements that make up 3D objects called sub-objects. Here are some elements that make up 3D objects include vertex. Yeah, vertex is a 3D animation object element in the form of a point located at coordinates x, y, and z. If vertices are combined into one, it will form an edge. Vertex is the most basic 3D object elements. And the second is edge. Edge is the confluence of at least two vertices. And the third is face. Face is a combination of three or more points that are close to from a certain area. There are also those who say that a face is surface area of a closed curve that is at least formed from three vertices or edge, or having three or more edges. Okay, maybe that was a brief discussion about 3D objects. Now I will tell you what software you can use to create 3D model. Nah, first you can use Paint 3D. Paint 3D is a new application included with the Windows 10 Creator updates. So you can use it, work with 3D models and collect 3D scenes. Paint 3D helps create simple 3D objects, but the results are unique and pretty cool for beginners. The Paint 3D application can be downloaded on the Microsoft Store or store, which is actually already on Windows 10. And the second recommendation, you can use Sketchup to create buildings in the Metaverse. Sketchup is also easy to use, and there are many materials in the 3D warehouse that are compatible with this software. But unfortunately, Sketchup must be licensed to be able to use it. You will be given 30 days to try the demo. And the next, there is 3D Studio Max software, commonly known as 3D Max. Is a software for creating 3D vector graphics and animations written by Autodesk Media and Entertainment, formerly known as Discrete and Kinetics. To run this application requires a computer specification that is high enough to get comfortable when using it, because many processes require high graphic to render and so on. And the last recommendation from me is Blender. Yeah, maybe all of you know Blender is the most popular 3D object creation software. It looks quite complex and complete. Besides being complete, this software is also open source or free, and you can use it free. Yeah. Blender is perfect for individuals or small studios who want to benefit from a unified pipeline and responsive development process. And the advantage of Blender 3D is doesn't require a lot capacity space, and the software is open source, so it can run on Linux operating system too. Not not so heavy. This is in terms of your computer performance when rendering. And the last is easy to use. Of recommendation I mentioned, you are free to choose according to the capabilities of the device and the needs of each user. From the Padepokan CMU team, we usually use Blender and Sketchup to create the 3D models or 3D objects. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Wait, here I have a video introduction to Mozilla Hubs. Yesterday we already had time to enter to Mozilla Hub, and maybe there are some friends who yesterday haven't had time to join the room. So this is a brief snapshot of the Mozilla Hub webs. Wait, I will play it.
Conference, collaborate with your team, or just hang out with friends. All that's needed is a web browser. No software installation is required. Hubs works on all sorts of devices. You can create your own room with a click of a button and invite others to join you. Hubs rooms can hold up to 25 people. Expecting more than 25 guests? Don't worry, additional visitors can watch from the lobby. Or you can spread the event over multiple rooms. You can even link them together. Hub's audio is spatialized, so you can chat with your guests as a group and easily break out into side conversations in different parts of the space. Rooms can be customized to match the vibe of your event. You can choose an existing scene from the community database, import your own 3D content, or build an environment from scratch using Spoke, Hub's easy-to-use environment editor. You can also create specialized avatars for your event. Hub's rooms are private and only available to people with the URL. To keep things running smoothly while your event is in action, you can promote trusted individuals to be room moderators. For larger events, we recommend taking a look at Hub's Cloud. It allows you to add advanced customization to the interface and limit access to your event. Head to hubs.mozilla.com to get started, or check out our documentation for tips to host your own virtual events.
Nah, okay. Well, that was it. Later, we will interact more often with Mozilla Hubs web. Mozilla Hubs is the software that we will use later to enter each other into the space that has been created. Then it will look like this. Okay. There are many buttons, right? This is invite. Invite to opens a dialog box with information about sharing a room with friends, and you can mute your microphone turn on your microphone, and you can share your desktop, your webcam, or phone camera with room members. And for the button place, you can open the search tool to find media that can be brought into the room. You can insert 3D models, scene, avatars, and 3D GIFs, or provide URLs and files for image, videos, models, or scenes. And there's React. You can react by emoji to display in the room. And you can also chat to communicate via text chat, of course, and create objects to enter comments. And there is a button to leave, and this is more to display additional available comments. From this menu, you can favorite rooms and change user preference, access help, and other settings. If you are the owner of the room, this menu will also include settings related to the current room and background permissions. And there is objects. Yeah, objects displays a list of media items in the room. Click on an object in the list for more options. And for button people, will displays information about the people in the room and lobby. Of course, more detail will be guided by Rizky later. And the next slide. Nah, Now we move on to Mozilla Spoke. Besides Mozilla Hubs, we will also often interact with Mozilla Spoke. What is the difference? If Mozilla Hubs is a platform for us to join the Metaverse room, while Mozilla Spoke is a web editor provided by Mozilla to edit and create our Metaverse room. In Mozilla Spoke, there are already provides like architecture kits that can be used, but unfortunately, it's only black and white. If you want to add color or texture, you can't do it there. You can create the building from a 3D model maker software. Then please import it into Mozilla Spoke, which can later be published and accessed by many people from Mozilla Hubs. You can find content to add to your scene in the assets panel. You can click on an asset to add it to the room. Assets can also be dragged from the assets panel and dropped into the viewport through pane or properties pane on the left side. The asset pane is a list of source like elements, my assets, architecture kits, and so on. You can see in here, right? And the last, I will tell you, uh, I also include a recommendation for a 3D asset collection web that you can use, including 3D warehouse and this 3D warehouse web in which assets are only compatible with Sketchup software. Then there is free 3D and Sketchfab, which will be compatible with Mozilla Spoke. Nah, I will give you some tips and tricks. Yeah, it's from me. If you want to find 3D assets, try to choose low poly because the capacity size of Mozilla Spoke is also limited and avoid lagging to most assets in the room. Okay, maybe that's all I can say for this first session. Hopefully my explanation can provide an initial overview for all of you. After this, we will practice together how to create a metaverse room. I will hand over the next session to Rizky. For Rizky, please, it's your turn. Thank you.
Right, check. Is it audible or?
Yes, Whiskey.
Right.
Yes.
It's clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, Lutfi. Thank you, Vicky, and thank you, Aji. So, as let's continue what Lutfi presents today, where Lutfi tells you to presentate you about the theoretical. Now, I'm gonna bring you to the real spoke. I mean, to the website. And yeah, pardon me. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm not opening my camera because got really bad lighting. So, let me share my screen. So, is it see now?
Yes.
Right. So, this is the metaverse that is already created by us. I mean, yeah, by Padepokan Siameo. And as we mentioned before, remember about the Hubs Mozilla, one of the platform she mentioned about the many platform like Sketchup, 3D Warehouse, or maybe Spoke, or maybe Hubs Mozilla. And you know, one of it, the Hubs Mozilla one is this one. Okay, so this is the thing that called Metaverse, or should I say in the room? Sorry. Okay, so maybe the first thing first, how do we get all the way here? So first thing first, I want you all to open your browser. I want you open your browser and type in hubs Mozilla, right? Type in like this. Or maybe you can search at Google, and then you search at hubs Mozilla. So yeah, hubs Mozilla like this, and then you search, click enter, and then you just click at the topmost, topmost, yeah, at the topmost, where it's written like Mozilla Hubs. You click it, and hold on, all right, and yeah, the home page will be like this, and I hope you guys are following, because I guess something is much better understood when you guys do it. Right. Yeah, something is much easier to understood when you do it. Right. So yeah, as in the chat, we said that you can click on that link too. So what's next? Well, actually, what's next is you'll have to log in, because right here I have logged in. But in this case, I'll pretend as if I have to log in, right? So if you haven't logged in, the preview will be like this. Like there's some writing here, like sign in or sign up. You may click that and sign in, write your email. Well, whatever you use, Gmail or Yahoo, just something that you can send the mail on. Then write the Gmail, right? For example, I'll write mine. And then after that, we check the Gmail. Right, so I'm gonna check my Gmail, and we should have gotten this email, your Hubs sign-in link, Hubs by Mozilla. To sign into Hubs, please visit the link below. Yeah, something. And there, if this something, blue link, we just need to click this. After that, everything is done. Well, again. And the next things to do, our our point was to make something like this, right? Something like, yeah, building something like that, right? So the next thing to do is to press the create room button here. and then there should be loading on previous floor, but that loading actually depends on the internet connection, right? And if the internet connection is so fast, well, you're lucky and you will get into the room quickly. But if it was slow, it will you'll get into the room a bit maybe slow. Well, yeah. So anyway, and so if the loading is done, you will have these three choice like this, or maybe display like this, I would say. Like so there's people, join room, enter on device, spectate. You may just press join room. And there's actually options where we can actually change the scene or maybe change the how it looks, how the place is. That's changing. But I'll go with this room first, right? I'll go with this place first. So we press join room, press enter room. So this is actually just you might want to test your microphone or your audio. Yeah, something like that. If we want to enter, we just press enter room. And we enter. So the control here is just, well, you can see this WASD, as in usually if you play game, WASD, or maybe arrow up, arrow left, arrow down, arrow right, up, left, down, right. And to move things up, actually, it's shown here. It is shown. Like, yeah, WASD move, T key fly mode. Oh my god, I did remove that. Left mouse button, turn, right mouse button, teleport. Then tab toggle menus, spatial menus. Right. So the control is, well, is given at the at the very first room that you create. Well, and so this is how you make the Metaverse room, your very first Metaverse room. Well, it's template, I know. So, right. So why is mine different than the other ones? Like say that I showed you guys. Right, excuse me, I guess. Right, so while we're waiting for the loading, probably I'll just repeat on previously, right? So we open the Hub's Mozilla website, and then we log in here. We log in as using our email, whatever you may use, Gmail, Yahoo, or whatever you have, as long as you can send the email on the electronic mail, and then you enter your email there. You check your email, and then click the link on the message. After that, after you click, you must be logged in. After that, press the create room here. So yeah, summary is just log in and then press create room, and then you'll see the room, well, as previously before. And yeah, probably, I mean, why isn't mine isn't like this. Why is my room not like this? Like say I want to create my own room. I don't want to use Mozilla Hub's template. Can I do that? Well, definitely yes. Of course, yes. If it's full of template, what's the point? So, uh, you know, Lutfi mentioned something before, many things actually, not just one or two things. And actually, uh, before we continue, I want to probably add one or two things. All right, so this there are some features that we can use in this Hubs Mozilla here. The example that was mentioned before, also React. The lower button, we've got microphone, voice, React, React, chat. Well, chat, you know chat, right? So React button is to react. Yeah, I hope you guys know what I mean. When we react something, or should I say to show emoji? Yeah, that's the most that's logical one. Okay, so to show emoji, if we press this button, this react button, it will show like many emoji like this, like a smile, laugh, clapping hands, laugh, wave, or it is wave, angry, and sad. So if we press one of it, press angry, and it will show up. It will show up right in front of it. You're not really right in front of it, maybe an inches away. Right. Yeah. A bit far away. Then other thing we can do is if we right click mouse to, we can teleport. Yeah, teleport as in change place, moving one place to another. Teleport. And chat, we can actually chat here. Just press the chat, and then the chat box will be shown. We may type something here. You want to send it, like say, you may say you want to say something via chat, or you can only say something via chat. You cannot really say something via microphone. You may just send it via chat. And yeah, you can do that in Mozilla. I mean, even though it's 3D, even though it's Metaverse, even though it's interactive 3D words, that doesn't mean you cannot send a message via chat. Right. So back to the subject. How do I make Metaverse of my own? How do I make custom room as like this? I don't want a template from Hubs. I want my own template. All right. So, well, this you can do that. And first thing first, you can do that. Just want to make sure again. And how you do that is to go to the website of from Mozilla as well. So it's called if this website is called Hubs Mozilla, right? Just view the just go back to the link of that Ludwig gives here, https://hubs.mozilla.com. You may press it, and we'll see this lobby. Sorry, we'll see this home page. And at the upper above, you'll see that there is Spoke guides developers, community hubs, cloud, and labs. And choose the Spoke one. Or maybe if you are not really good with remembering words, choose the first one. That one close to Hub's Mozilla logo. Choose that. Right. Choose the Spoke. Click the Spoke. Right. So Spoke is the name of the editor in apps. It's not a literal Spoke. So yeah, this app is called Spoke, and it's the same. You may actually think as of Unreal Engine or maybe Unity. Yeah, it's something like that. But don't worry, no coding needed here. No coding needed. It's all about drag and drop here. So what's Spoke? Spoke is I would say the map editor of Metaverse of Hub's Mozilla. So Hub's Mozilla has its own map editor and it's called Spoke. You can edit, you can make your word here, you can make your scene, maybe it's called in Mozilla Hubs. You can make your everything to deploy at Mozilla Hubs using this Spoke. So I'm gonna show you how to use this. So first thing first, the display again will be like this. Oh, excuse me. I see that. So first thing first, the display will be like this. If you had not logged in, but supposedly you guys have logged in because because if we log in on the hubsmozilla.com, we should be logged into the Spoke as well. So I guess, yeah, sorry, my so I'm a login again. Right, so and if we press the get started, right, so say I've logged in. If we press the get started here, you'll get this like, welcome to Spoke. If you are new here, we recommend going through the tutorial. Otherwise, jump right in and create a project from scratch from one of our template. So we may create a start tutorial, but I guess that would be a long one. You may try this at home when at the time off, but I'm gonna show you the instant one. Like as I said, how do we make room like that? So well, let's just press it, new project. And yeah, we actually have like Mozilla Hubs just don't really give us some empty void, and then we have to make something. No, Mozilla Hubs actually has some kind of pre-made room, pre-made room that was already made by Mozilla Hub, so that we can use to learn, to maybe edit again, or maybe just to use as making the metaverse words. So yeah, we can always reuse this. But I guess let's just create a new empty project. Just want to make sure we are making this from scratch. All right. So before I continue, because I guess this thing of the metaverse is about to begin to blow your mind. Anyone has a question before I continue this presentation further?
Excuse me, can I ask something? Whiskey?
Right, sure.
Yes. My question is, how about the other participant in this class? Whether they have know about how to create a metaverse before, or they they are in the first time or first step to learn about metaverse. Because if we saw the list, there are 48% that they didn't know about metaphors, yeah, how to create and how to use. And the other is a beginner, and one person only that advanced in metaphor. So can you maybe just to ask them to go with you together, and maybe we can through together with the from the beginning. I mean, sorry if I interrupt you. Thank you, Rizky.
Right. Thank you, Mrs. Annie. So probably, yeah, this is a heavy matter, and maybe, of course, there's a module probably, and should have started from beginning. And I should have actually filled the yesterday's matter. I mean, the like the first day, but actually I was sick. Yeah, sorry, apologize. So I couldn't attend the meeting, and yeah, so more or less like that, Mrs. Annie. Okay, so right now I'm a continue. So even all right, as I said before, even though this new empty project is not really so empty, and there's already a mountain here, mountain, a mountain, and yeah, just mountain. If we want to get rid of this mountain, we just need to press mountain, the mount, and click delete on your button. Then it's gone. Like yeah, deleting any object. So after that, we can track this up. How to track this up is find the border between this frame and this frame, this window and this window. Find the border, and if you over the border, your cursor will change. And if your cursor, if when your cursor change, left click, hold your left click, and move your mouse a bit going up. Yeah, so you will show that there are so many things down here. So, and from here, we've got a lot of menu here. My assets, Sketchup, Rocket, Sketchfab. Right, if Sketchfab rings a bell for you, actually, Miss Lutfi mentioned about the Sketchup before. If you remember that, it's one of the platform of 3D you can use. So let's try making something, right? Let's try, I want to make a sequence of flow. So I'm gonna open, I'm gonna find, oh, about the control, all right. Actually, the control is shown here that LMB left mouse button is to orbit or select. If you hold it, you'll orbit. If you press, you'll select. And when you select something, the description is kind of getting much more, right? Yeah. So there's the very instruction control. So no worry, no need to worry about. And middle mouse button is to pan, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. And RMB right mouse button is to fly. So and fly, the control is the same as what I said before, WASD. Yeah, shift to make it faster. I guess we'll just use a thing. So again, if we click this, there are many menu, and there's this F for focus. If we press it, our camera will focus to the very object we select. And Q is to rotate our object. Q, this our object. Oh, I lost it. Q is to rotate left. E to rotate right. G is to grab. You know what I mean? Grab is not really you grab it with your hand. I mean grab with your cursor. Like say I'm gonna press G, and then I can move it wherever I want. I want to move here, and then it moves there. And I want to focus again. I'm gonna press F. I'm gonna move there. Like I'm gonna move it far away there. Then I'm gonna focus it again. I'm gonna press F. F. Yeah, if you told like say I want to make this object moves from here to there, far away, at the dot, at the little dot. So I'm gonna press G. I'm gonna put that. Oh, I cannot. So I can. So never mind. So enough chat. Enough yammering around. So let's see. Let's start from the very beginning, right? So if we see that building that we have built right now, just built. All right, probably you guys want to see this. That was the very link that I used that I used to presentate you guys. If you have sufficient internet connections and device, you may answer it. Right, still loading. So as I recall, if we look at that room again, you know, one thing that room has was the floor, right? That room has floor. So I'm definitely will add floor here. Right, I'm gonna add floor here and here. And oh, you know what? If you go to the architecture kit, there are already things will kind of kind of thought out. Like, there is floor and then there's 2 times 2 or 4 times 4. That makes things easier for us when we want to find something with particular size and shapes. So yeah, that would be easy. So right, I'm mute myself first. So as mentioned before, we want to make room like this, but we've got to know the first fundamental of a room first, right? And this room has floor, and I'm gonna add floor first on my word, right? So floor, 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 floor. Right, this definitely gonna take a long time. Floor, floor, floor. Probably I'm not gonna make the whole room as what it was. I'm not gonna make the whole buildings, but I'm gonna at least make maybe 1/10 of it. Oh, and yeah, you can actually kind of making things easier, like duplicate it by holding shift and clicking multiple floor and pressing control and D or duplicate. Right. So let's say I'm gonna make this room, right? Just this wide. 4 times 4, as the floor implies. 4 times 4, right? So, well, probably not really too much. All right, hold on. I'm gonna make this longer. Right. So first floor is done, and actually, it's kind of somewhat weird if you want to see your floor, but you are kind of blocked with this line. Yeah, uh, white line stuff. You may actually want to lift it up a bit. Okay, yeah, but first thing first, I guess this the link that I share. Some of you guys try to join. Oh, some failed, some still trying, because yes, I mentioned before, you need the sufficient device and sufficient internet, because it's like requires like GTX. No. I'm just kidding. It's like require i5 Gen 10, or probably if you are using phone that maybe require. I don't really know what the phone. Oh, one successfully answered. Nickname conf object 12388. All right. So well, right. So I'm not. I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Well, how do I cross check? Right. So I'm gonna cross check you guys. Have you actually followed this? Have you actually followed this section of spoke? Or maybe you still don't understand why is the floor this huge or this wide? Any question you may ask it. All right, so there's a question, Miss Lofi, and we need to chat. If you can already make the floor in spoke, please raise your hand. Uh, if you can make, if you right, if you have made the floor in spoke, you may raise your hand. I guess wait, what was that? I guess the fragile or raise hand. You successfully made the floor in spoke.
Maybe if you already make the floor or something in spoke, you can raise your hand, guys. Or if you have any question, just unmute your speaker or you can type in the chat box.
Well, I guess that question from Lutfi. No one asked question. Now may I continue my presentation? All right. So after adding floor, and we actually can do two things. We may add pillar or we may add wall. So depends on us which one we want to use. Right now, I'm gonna use the wall first. Right, the wall. So wall here, but honestly, all right, I'm gonna be honest here. Uh, never use the wall from Spoke, the template wall from Architecture Kit. Never use it. Never use wall from original, right? Because this is gonna be look awkward when you deploy this, honestly. So this is how the way wall looks like. Right, again, sorry. If you press this, press the wall, it will show up here. And if you rotate it, if you rotate the wall by pressing Q and E, it will rotate. Look at this. On one side, you can look at it, but on the other side, it's transparent. So yeah, I don't really trust the wall. So, and you know, the wall on previous room wasn't like that, wasn't like this, right? It's, well, probably comes from something creativity of the owner, of the creator, sorry. He used the floor, honestly, floor, right? So the floor like this, he made it flipped. Wait. All right, so say, let's take this floor. Oh, floor 4 times 4. Right. Floor times floor 4. And if we rotate it, oh, all right. There's something I haven't shown to you guys. Yeah. In this here, there's this tree menu. There's this tree menu that looks like cross, rotating logo, and scale. So, and if you for default, we will be pressed for default. We assign in this, well, what is it? Oh my god. So if we, for default, this is called translation. I cannot see this because my cursor lag. Right. So default, we will be assigned to T translate. And because we want to make this stand, you know, to make the floor as a wall, we are gonna press the rotate. And thus it will change the control. The control that the first was something like this. Oh, wow, something's wrong with me. The first something like this. You see the arrow change to this, right? So yeah, something like that. So after that, you find the circle you want to rotate. I mean, how much you want to rotate it to that direction, to red direction or to blue direction, because rotating in green direction won't do much thing, because it's the same. You rotate circle 90 degrees, you get what you have, right? So this is actually you can actually uncheck this. There's something called toggle snap. All right, so maybe I'll repeat. So there is this rotate button at the left, top left, and there's also degree button there. And actually there is this button like magnet button, U button, probably I would say. This U button, if you uncheck it, if we uncheck it, we will be able to see the rotation of the box, the squares smoothly. Okay, that if we disable, if we enable, it will go back again. The setting will be well, the last setting first. Right. So right. Sorry. I guess I want to make a wall, not to make a logo. So I'm gonna make this like this. Something's wrong. Yeah, something's wrong. I'm gonna fix that because we have rotated. We will translate and then move it something probably around here. Yeah, like this. Yeah, well, somewhat a wall, probably. Believe me or not, this is wall. All right. So maybe this wall is kind of high, right? Maybe it's too high. So you can actually make this lower though, using scale feature. I introduced to you three main features in Mozilla Hubs Spoke. Sorry, translate, rotate, and the last it will be scale. Right. So they're actually also available at here though. When you click the object, it will show something like this, like the name, a visible and checkbox button, enable checkbox button, transform position X, Y, Z, rotation X, Y, Z, scale X, Y, Z, and something more. And we can actually change the position by here though, like see this is minus 23, I'm gonna change like minus 27, will change, but no, changing position this way is kind of complicated, much complicated. So let's just use the well, the easy way, right? Wait. Yeah, easy way. This easy way. So, right. So again, back to the subject. I want to make the object be becoming much lower. I don't want the wall to be this high. I want the wall to be lower. So yeah, just make it lower by using scale here. And before we go, sorry. At this position, rotation, scale, there's this some kind of like chain logo here, which if we hover at it, there will be writing like uniform scale. We may click that so that it won't like it won't like tight aspect ratio. So, and if we click the scale button, oh no, sorry. So we can actually set the scale from here. And yes, indeed, this for scaling, it's kind of sucks. Yeah, honestly. But because yeah, this is the only way to do it. Because actually this thing we should be able to do with this something. But I guess something's always wrong with this. Like, once I did do this in Mozilla Hub, the other day I cannot. So just to note that, what, right, so hold on. Okay. All right, so just to note that the horizontal axis, or should I say, the red and blue is X and Y. If you want to okay, okay. So, oh, I don't know. All right, good. So just to note that the vertical is Z. So if we want to change the height, we can now always change the Z and we get the different height. And this is actually convenient because just editing one wall, we can just duplicate it, the old, we can just press Ctrl D, then move it, or actually make this longer by scaling it. All right. And or no, right, sorry, wait, right. So if we again click the chain button and we click the when we press the X, we will we can set the length as far as we want, but it's kind of not accurate if you ask me. Right, yeah. You can't really well, what is it called, estimate it from here, because well, it's not from the number, it's from the estimation. So yeah, so we may full oh sorry, we make floor, wall, so we make floor, wall. You basically just copy and paste this. You may use the duplicate or copy and paste, just Control C, Control V, up to you. Right. Yeah, so uh probably maybe I don't have much time left. Probably I have 9 minutes left. I'm gonna make this faster, right? So let's say I'm gonna this is offset right here. I apologize. And if you want to fix something like this, which is, well, it's okay. The the wall merging is not seen actually. Well, yeah, it's not seen. So, well, after that, we can actually make the roof. And again, it's about creativity. You can't really go into room. I mean, it's not really an option, right? Again, we can use the floor, right? We can use the floor as the roof. How do we do that? Well, we just put the floor at the top, and there you go. Oh, it's quite hard. Oh, I guess I pressed it too much. Oh yeah, I pressed it too much, sorry. And yeah, floor at the roof. Kind of silly and disgusting, but I guess this just looks good. Okay, so button for this hole, right? So honestly, I actually planned to start was actually start plan making this room like this, right? I guess I end up getting idea to make a shelter bus. So, and last but not least, we can actually find something in Sketchfab, namely in 3D warehouse, namely Sketchup. Sorry, Sketchfab, SKETCHFAB. We can actually find something 3D model that is not available at Mozilla Hubs in there. So, well, you can actually find something interesting there. Maybe you want to say a 3D of Pikachu, or maybe 3D of Doraemon, 3D of Naruto, anime, whatever. You can find it there. You can find it. Right. So here I'm gonna find the model of shelter bus. And remember about what Miss Luffy mentions about low poly, right? It's the important factor, because when it's low poly, it actually works like, pixels in image. The more you have, the higher the size, and like, yeah, something like that. So I guess, but that doesn't really mean you. But that doesn't mean if low poly means low quality, like 144p. No, just that, you know, the lower the size, the better, because this is 3D and it's harder. It's much heavier. So say I'm gonna take this 3D model. Oh, broken. Sorry. This one. Right. So I'll take it. Put this here, and then yeah, this is weird. Right. Right. This is weird. This shows the best or the boss already have roof on it, and then I add another city. Right. So yeah, probably I will just make something simple like this. And then the next we can do, if we want to see it on Hubs Mozilla, we can press the publish to Hubs, give it a name, shelter, pass of course, and this just let be like that. Save and publish. Press the save and publish, like, and will be given the statistic of our file and like the texture materials like polygon count, whatever. And if done, just information, we may click the publishing. Loading process, it takes internet connection. So the faster you have, the faster the process is. All right, well, if it's done, would show something like this. Scene published shelter. If done, you may view your scene. Create a room with this scene. I'm gonna be quick, right? And there you go. You can actually visit your room right now. And there you go. You made your first room in Metaverse. So I guess that's from me in giving matter about the Metaverse Hubs, Mozilla and Hubs both. So I guess this is, I'm giving this back to Vicky or Ajit.
Okay, Risky. Everyone, do you have a question about this topic, Metaverse room design? So you can type to the chat box or raise your hand and turn on your microphone. And yeah, Miss Annie, do you have something to say? Thank you, Aji. And yeah, guys, don't forget to fill the attendance form.
Hello, does anyone have a question for making metaverse in Spoke, maybe? Or have you all created the room in the Spoke?
Uh, Thank you, Lutfi and Rizky, for your presentation. And maybe I think there's no question right here. Uh, Lutfi and Rizky, do you have something to say again?
Okay, Vicky. Because tomorrow is the last session for this meeting, so and the agenda is the Metaverse Space Exhibition. We will have fun there. If you have an Oculus, you can use it. But if you don't have it, it's okay, no problem. We can still use a laptop or PC or smartphone. Yeah, for tomorrow's session, we will exchange rooms and try to enter the space room that you have made. I think that's from me, Vicky. Thank you.
Okay, Lutfi, thank you. How about you, Rizky?
Right, may I give addition? Right,
Yeah.
so probably from me, well, tomorrow is about the exhibition, and if today I explain it too fast that you can actually have any question, you don't even have any chance to ask it. Apologize for that. Tomorrow definitely I'll probably probably just a bit rewind of today's Mary, and I'm really hoping you guys to ask some question to me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rizky. Okay, guys, you can ask right now. We still have a time. It's about 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Okay, I think there's no question right here. So Lutfi and Rizky, thank you for your presentation. Maybe I will return back to Aji.
Okay, thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Lutfi, and thank you, Rizky. I will close this webinar session. So thank you for attending this webinar session. Nice to meet you. I hope you can join for the next webinar session. Good evening and have a nice day, guys. All of you can leave this room. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Vicky. Thank you, Asif. Thank you, Rizky. Good job. Thank you, all of you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you, all of you.
Bye bye.
Stop.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye,
Bye. See
teacher.
you tomorrow,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye bye.
Bye bye,
Bye bye.
Kathy.
Bye.
Hi, Kathy, and goodbye. Bye bye, Nani.
Oh my God. Bye. You later.
Sủi mai đấy con, sủi mai chị này xỉ.